Is Katara the strongest waterbender in the Avatar universe? A lot of people seem to think so, but I personally disagree. And that is not me saying that she still isn't one of the greatest waterbenders in Avatar history. She essentially became a master of the element by the time she was 16. And she's shown us some crazy feats like bending the water out of the literal air, shown such finesse that she can basically thaw herself out of completely frozen ice. And she was even able to put the paws on Azula every time they had a one-on-one fight. She's also bended the water out of plants, and she's even capable of blood bending after she was taught how to by Hama underneath the full moon, meaning Katara can control the blood within the bodies of her opponents and make them move to her will. So yeah, she's definitely incredibly broken as a waterbender, but not the strongest in the verse. Some would say it's Yakone, since he is the first waterbender in Avatar history to bloodbend without the use of the full moon. And not only that, he shows such a finesse with the art of bloodbending that he was capable of doing it without any hand movements, just with his mind, which definitely explains why he was able to run the criminal underground for so long. I mean, that's a broken skill set to have in that verse. But alas, Yakone is not the strongest either, and we saw a direct example of this after he went one-on-one against Aang, and just as he was ready to end Aang's life early with his bloodbending, Aang was able to instantly overpower Yakone completely by using the Avatar state, and then abruptly had his bending stolen. So yeah, he was definitely up there while he had it, but the strongest waterbender is not Yakone either. Now another answer I've seen a lot of people claim as the strongest waterbender is Unalaq, and while I personally think that answer is kind of disrespectful, I definitely see why they feel that way. I mean, during his time as the Dark Avatar, Unalaq technically was the strongest waterbender in history. And to be 100% honest, he was giving Korra the works. I mean, bro literally ripped Rava out of Korra and then beat her connection to her past lives out of her. So power-wise, when it comes to waterbending, Unalaq definitely has some of the greatest feats. However, all of those feats were achieved by him amping himself artificially with the spirit of Vatu. So I personally would not count them as his own pure waterbending feats. And he's without a doubt the corniest villain in the Avatar history, so he's not the best waterbender either. So just who exactly is the greatest waterbender that we've seen in the story? I believe the answer is none other than Noatop, better known as Amon. Now Amon is my #1 favorite villain in the Avatar verse for very great reasons, but the main one has to be his finesse with the skill of waterbending, and his terrifying uses of it that allowed him to control the group the Equalists. You see, I like to think of Amon as Katara without any morals. We got to see Katara showcase some of her best waterbending and bloodbending feats when she went along with Zuko to avenge her mother, and I feel like Amon is who Katara would have been if she decided to go down her path of vengeance. You see, like his father Yakone, Amon also has the ability to bloodbend without the use of the full moon and just with his mind. However, he was much stronger than Yakone and is able to access a bloodbending technique that mimics energy bending, something that before him we had only seen done by the Avatar. And this man can use bloodbending to literally block someone's chi to the point that they can't bend anymore. Not only can he basically just use the force on you and crush you, if he wanted to, he could just take away your ability to fight back completely. And in my opinion, that aspect of him is what makes him the greatest villain in Avatar, and without a doubt the strongest waterbender. We have not seen a waterbender match up to that level of skill. That's not to say that Katara isn't also a master of the other subclasses of waterbending, since she is confirmed to be pretty much the world's greatest healer. However, solely in combat she is not matching up to Amon, and if the two were ever to fight one-on-one, he would definitely handle her. Now that that's out of the way, who is the best waterbender amongst the Avatars? We obviously can't go over too many specifics with the Avatars we haven't seen much of, so I've decided to keep this portion of the video to the Avatars who have the most available information and feats. Starting off with Avatar Aang. Now Aang probably has some of the best waterbending feats we've seen in the verse, especially when it comes to raw power. He was able to use the master level waterbending technique in the second episode of the show's first season during his time in the Avatar state. We also saw that his waterbending brings the most destruction that we've ever seen from the element when he merged with the Ocean Spirit to fight off the Fire Nation troops invading the Northern Water Tribe. During this time, Aang's waterbending became so powerful that he forced all members of the Northern Water Tribe to bow to him, and all of the Fire Nation troops to flee from the mass destruction caused by his waves. We see another massively impressive feat from a 12-year-old Aang after he removed firebending from Fire Lord Ozai and was able to put out the flames created by the former Fire Lord that threatened the safety of the Earth Kingdom by waterbending the entire ocean and its waves. While all this is very impressive, the Avatar with perhaps the most deadly waterbending feat is Avatar Kyoshi, who not only had incredible power behind her waterbending and was capable of summoning waves and lifting entire ponds, but also used a terrifying technique that uses waterbending's healing to slow down the body's process, including aging and death. Kyoshi was even capable of using this in combat, and did so in order to defeat her former companion Yun, false Avatar, by freezing his heart from the inside. She was genuinely terrifying. And last but not least, there is Avatar Korra, who in my personal opinion has to be the best Avatar with water. Not only is she native to the Southern Water Tribe, she was also trained by one of the greatest waterbenders in all history, Katara. She also accesses a very aggressive and flowing waterbending style that we had not seen anywhere else in the series before her. Korra has an MMA combat approach to her bending that allows water to be used in both defensive and painfully offensive ways. She also is powerful enough to lift an entire lake and freeze a massive mech suit that threatened to destroy all lands outside of the Earth Kingdom. So when it comes to versatility and the highest displays of power, the best waterbender in Avatar history is definitely Korra. That's just my personal thoughts though. If you disagree or if there's someone I missed, definitely let me know down in the comments. Leave a like on the video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next one. I love you, I appreciate you. Sun God signing off.
I come in clutch like a genie. Don't talk unless you need me. You talk too much, you need it. All of my bitches look like models, she in love with me. When we link, it's flashing lights and cameras, got a blammer.